This is the Pam Sowder Podcast. With over 2 decades of field and corporate experience and voted one of the most influential women in direct selling, Pam helps mesh the daily needs of distributors to everyday life challenges. It's time to get over yourself, fire up your productivity, work less, and live more. Learn the self-limiting hashtag F-bombs holding you back, fear, frustration, and failures, and turn those F-bombs into friendships, fun, and freedom. Ready? Let's get this party started.
This is another Ask Pam question. I really wish this would work for me. I just don't know what to do. I've tried everything and nothing's working. Wow, this is a loaded question. Okay, it's called networking, not net wishing. We just got to get to work. That's the number one thing. You know, I used to just wish. And when I was wishing, nothing was working. And when people tell me I've tried everything, I've talked to everybody, I know that's not true because you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So simply, it's numbers game. It really, truly is. I wish there was more to it than that. I wish there's a magic formula. Here we go back to that word wish. Wish there was a magic statement, magic card, magic post. But there isn't. It's called work. And it's the best work, though. Think about it. You get to choose when and where you work, how long you work, and who you work with. That's a beautiful thing. So let's take advantage of what we already have and what we already know and realize that it's going to take more than just contacting a handful of people. It takes commitment, persistence, and desire. So let's get back to why did you sign up in the first place? What are you wishing for? What do you want? And get really clear. Get really, really clear about why you decided to be a part of this company and own a home-based business. This is the most vital thing. When people are wishy-washy and say, oh, I want $10,000 a month, I know that that's not true. Yeah, they'd like to have it if it were handed to them, but they're not willing to go work for it. There's a difference because when you truly desire that $10,000 a month, that's mine. You don't say it. You just go do it. You put your head down, you stay focused, nothing or no one can take you out, and you get the job done. And very few of us understand that and realize that. This is not a wishing business. This is a working business. And it will fulfill all your wishes if you work it along the way. So what do? You decide, make a strong decision that you're going to go after it. All right, this is what I want. This is why I want it. And I'm willing to make a decision right here, right now, and I'm willing to go after it. So then make that list. Make the list of all the people that you know. And don't prejudge them. Make a list. Have 100 names, 200 names, as many as you can. And every day add to that list. And then posting is not asking. You have to be bolder than that. You have to go in behind the scenes and the facade of that Facebook news feed and truly ask people. If you want to text them, that's fine. If you want to pick up the phone and call them or you want to leave a voice message, however you normally interact with people should be the way that you approach them about the business. And when you have that strong desire and it's backed behind your why, people can sense it. They know there's something different about you. They can't put their finger on it, but they know just by the way that you're carrying yourself, the energy that's coming off of you, the way that you voice something, that something's different about you. And it gets them curious. They start to wonder, what's going on? What has she got? What has he got? And they might even start asking you questions. But when you don't, when you're wishing and you're wondering and you're not confident and your why is not strong, you're just kind of throwing things out there hoping somebody bites. And when they don't, you're like, I'm good. I'm out. That's net wishing. Networking is when you make a conscious decision that no matter what happens, I'm going to keep going. I'm going after what's on my dream board. I'm going after that big, big why. And it's huge for me, and I'm going to get it done. So you make the list, You start asking. You can ask in several different ways. You can just be bold and out front and say, I thought about you. You'd be awesome in my business. I'd like for you to take a look at it. You'd be great. That's it. Are they open to taking a look at it? Hey, I thought about you the other day. We were talking about our weight and we wanted to get it off. I've got products here that absolutely work. Let me send you some pictures. Are you open to at least that? And just start asking. And ask and ask and ask, and ask more than once. The key to this business is follow-up. That's one of the biggest, strongest keys, is to continue to ask. In my first business, before finding this crazy wrap, the gentleman that introduced me to the industry, he asked me over and over and over again to take a look at the opportunity. And he wasn't going to give up. And I could tell he wasn't going to give up. So I looked at it. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for his persistence. And there were so many people along the way that I would give up on asking. And a month or two later, they're in somebody else's business. So you don't want that to happen either. And then you give up. 2 years in, you're like, oh, well, this isn't working, blah, 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 and you quit, but then that person wants in like the next month and they join somebody else's business to go all the way to the top. So we never want to give up on that either. So what do? We decide that we're going to work it. We make the list, we start asking, we start following up, and we start building our team. And over time, you're going to see your business just grow and grow and grow and grow. And that's what it will do if you get that why right, you get behind it, you make that everyday decision that you're going to do something in your business every day. And some days are better than others. And we've all got to realize that. We're all raising families. We all have life going. Some are working full-time jobs, and we want to give up. And I see this all the time. I have where I go get my nails done, there's a nail tech. She's awesome. She is a distributor, and I watched her enthusiasm start to get less and less every time I go in there because she's using every excuse in the book not to do it. Whereas before she was so enthusiastic that it possibly could get her out of that nail salon, and she's already given up on her dream. And that is just so sad because there's no reason to give up on it. Whether you can work it spare time, part-time, or full-time, it's worth the efforts to put into your business, to grow it, to work it, and to not wish it along. I love this question from Krista. Krista's 2 years in. She's a diamond dreaming of double. Now, she says she's going to rebuild, but she wants to know how she rids her mentality of the deflate and dead legs. She says it takes a lot of work with each DT, and it's hard to think of letting them go to wipe the slate clean. Her mind tells her that her business won't be built from a Hallmark concept and that she needs to strive on those who want this. I'd love your thoughts on mentality when wiping the slate. Krista, I love this question. Okay. You're not wiping the slate clean. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go build. And those that are already in your business will either come with you or they'll wipe themselves out. They'll let themselves go. Right now, your main focus should be going double, triple, and on up. It's one of the hardest things that I remember going through myself is, wow, I've got this team, but they don't seem to be wanting to go in the same direction as me. They just kind of want to sit there or they want me to do it for them. So am I encouraging that? Am I acting like I've done that before? Have my actions been in that direction? And I no longer want that because that just beats you up. That makes you feel like you're doing all the work and nobody's doing it with you. So here's what you're going to do. Don't worry about wiping the slate clean. This is what you're going to do. You're going to go forward. You're going to get the double charts out and you're going to fill them up. You're going to start recruiting, and then you're going to teach and coach those distributors to recruit. You're going to find out who wants to play, and the rest you just let them go. And it's so much more fun when you've got team members that want it with you. So let's change our mentality on this. You're going to start finding the right team members. I want you to do a couple things here. I want you to make a list, and it should be a long list, like 50 attributes of the type of person that you want in your business. And so best way to think about this is, what are the people like that I have now? A lot of us can go negative before we can go positive. What are they not doing that you want them to do? What are the attributes? Think about it. You want them to be inspired. You want people to be connected. You want people that are fun, that like to work. They have a strong work ethic. These are the attributes of the type of person that you want in your business. Now, I want you to make that list. And then I want you to look at that list every day. But most importantly, Krista, be that list. You be the list. You have all of those attributes. And as you start living in those attributes, Krista, you are going to start recruiting those type of people, and your business will start to explode. When I realized what I didn't want in my business and the type of person I no longer wanted in my business, and can count on the type of person that I did want by my own actions, being those actions, everything shifted for me. And I know you can do it too, Krista. Thanks for the question. Here's a great question from Theresa. She says she doesn't have upline anymore. She's not even part of a team page. Her upline left, but she's still very passionate about her business. She reaches out to sideline team, but they've got their own team to coach and teach. She feels like she's at a very high disadvantage. She reads personal development books, watches podcasts, YouTube, and she's wanting this so bad. So she's asking for my advice. Theresa, you know what? You're at a great advantage. Just switch it around. Most of us didn't have upline help. Most of us didn't have sideline help. Everything is available to you. There's YouTube videos everywhere showing you exactly what to do and how to build the business. So it's there for you. And as you start to build your team, you can be the upline that you've always wanted to have. And I'm sure if you called the corporate office, they can tell you who is way above you that's an ambassador diamond, because I know you're attached to one that you can get the help with. Plus, we also have field development reps who are out there to help coach, train, and teach, so you can reach out to them. They're always on our Facebook pages, and let them know that you are interested in taking this business and that you want it so bad. So you can find the help that you need. But most importantly, just do it, Theresa. You know what to do. You recruit customers and distributors. That's what you do. That's all we do. And as they start to come on board, you take great care of them. You learn the necessary skills to lead and coach them by actually doing that, by actually being in the trenches with them, by actually guiding them. And I assure you, Theresa, that you can be just as good as any leader that you admire, because most of them did not have the support that you might think that they did. Most of them did it all on their own. So I appreciate you, Theresa. I know you can reach out, find what you need, but hone in and know that you've got it. You've got the skills and you've got the why. Here's a question from Megan. I'm a brand new Ruby, and I've been struggling with self-discipline, training new team members sufficiently, keeping track of my business, and making sure I'm available to them. How do you structure that time to divide in so many places? This is a great question. I've answered this in so many different ways over the last couple of years. One of the things that you can do, Megan, is you are an entrepreneur. You get to set your own time. I know most people don't realize that, but what you can do, because you're a Ruby, now you want to quickly promote to Emerald and Diamond and beyond. So your team is going to grow and grow and grow. And so what I would recommend that you do is sit down, get quiet, get out a piece of paper, and decide what your hours are with It Works. When are you going to be available for your team? And when are you going to be available for your own business? You get to set that time. So that way your team knows when they can ask you questions and when you're going to answer. Now, they can ask you questions all day long, but you're only going to answer them in that window that you've scheduled out. And then the most of the time, 80% of the time, you want to be working on new business. 80%, yes. If you've got 3 hours scheduled for your business daily, 80% of those 3 hours should be acquiring new customers and acquiring new distributors. Because your team members, if you're plugging them into an upline team page, which is what I would highly recommend, there's answers all over that for them. There's also great training videos they can plug into. There's their e-suite with most every question answered back there, so they can get the help that they need. And most people that are going to actually go after this business are very self-sufficient, and they go after those answers for themselves. So spend the vast majority of your time right now doing it all for you and then guiding everyone else to get their own answers. That's the best form of duplication, the best form. We'll be rooting for you, Megan. Thanks for the question. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Pam Sowder Podcast. Be sure to check out my website at pamsowder.com. There you can get inspired, listen to more podcasts, read and submit Ask Pam questions that could be featured on an upcoming podcast episode. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, much love and appreciation.